It's a system, people. How is it that this system is trying to indoctrinate our children to to learn about other people identity when they don't even know their own identity? People, Americans must fight back. They're trying to indoctrinate our children to think about sex at 5 and 6 and 7 years old. These kids don't even know how to read and write yet. The majority. But yet and still, the system of some wicked, perverted people. And we're not talking about parties, because this is intertwined on all sides. But I want to say that I thank God that there are people that are coming to the forefront that will fight. We're talking about warriors. And when we say fight, we're not talking necessarily physical fighting. We're talking about, this is a spiritual battle. We're talking about standing up for righteousness, standing up for truth, standing up for what is better for our children. People, it's a system. The system is, how can you legalize something, and then discontinue it, so that those individuals who are addicted now would have to come to you and begin to get your, I'm just going to say, your remedy. Not your cure, but your remedy, to kind of suppress them or hold them at bay, to make them feel like they're okay. It's a system. It's a system, people. Let us not be ignorant to the devices of the enemy as to what is planned for us, our children, and generations to come. Oh yeah, we see the system. Anytime this system will go after the former president of the United States, raid his home and invade his privacy. I don't know the gist of things, but I can tell you, I've never heard of anything of that magnitude in America. People, it's a system. And the system is all about power and control. Power and control. Power and control. But we must stand up and say, no, I will not be controlled. I will not allow myself to be manipulated or deceived. We may have been in the past, but this is a new day. There are warriors out here, and there are some that are very silent, but now they're beginning to come to the forefront because it's time. We were born for a time such as this, to expose the corruption and the wickedness so that people will be able to see what is happening. Our young people are being deceived to think that you can walk around high and hold a job. In most places, you can't do that. No. So guess what? Eventually, you're going to succumb to the controlling force, which is a system. They see you as a minority. The elites see the minorities as less than. They need a handout. They need somebody to do this. They are stupid. They are so stupid that they cannot produce an ID. You go every place else, you got to have an ID, but you can't get an ID for voting. You're too stupid. So we got to make a way for you to vote. Well, let me tell you something. You're not stupid. They want to manipulate you to the point of winning or cheating for elections. Okay? The system. This system has been in operation for decades. Donald Trump Donald J. Trump, the former president of the United States of America, did not make this happen. This has been happening for decades. Look at the decade people that's been 30, 25, 30, 40 years in power and have not brought about any changes. Something is wrong, because guess what? They do not want to bring a change. They want to keep the system in place. Can I tell you, walk from under the system and begin to think for yourself. Walk from under the system and do not be controlled by those hateful, evil, wicked-hearted people. It's a new day, Americans. Stand up, speak out, vote, don't compromise, because there are more individuals out there than you think in the same way that you think. Okay? Go to school board meetings. Go to your village meetings. Go to meetings that are going to affect your life, going to affect your mother's life, your grandmother's life, your uncles, your aunt, your cousin, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. Go to the meetings and speak out. Ask questions. They may look at you as a sore thumb or someone, here she come again. I always interrupt. This is not their America. This is not their... It's hard for me to think. This is not their world. It's not their world. They don't control anything. Matter of fact, we pay their salaries. We pay their livelihood. And you gonna tell me I don't have anything to say about it? All this foolery that's going on in America and around the world. People, there may be sacrifices, but every move there were, there has been sacrifices. We have to be willing to leave our children and grandchildren and our loved ones a better world. Our ancestors did the same thing. They left a better world for us, because there were a day when the government used to give out to our ancestors cheese, butter, dry milk, peanut butter, beans. That's all you get. And they were somewhere eating filet mignon. But guess what? Our ancestors fought, and they fought so that we can have better lives. And today, we can eat filet mignon if we choose to, or we can eat chicken, or we can eat a hot dog. We can eat whatever we want to eat. Get a pizza. But we are here because of our ancestors that fought for us to be able to do that. We must start taking responsibility, parents, and begin to raise our children and begin to speak life to them. And when they bring this garbage into our homes, we got to tell them, no way. You're not bringing that in here. If you know they don't have jobs and you know that they coming in with these name brand things, where they get it from? You know that. You know that. So you are guilty because you're allowing this to happen. You got to stand up and be role models for your children. And then once they get in trouble, we talking about, my child didn't do that. My child wouldn't do that. Let me tell you something. If your child see you doing this, we say, well, they know, but no. We got to go back. If we have been wrong in doing certain things with and for in front of our children, it's our responsibility to go back and say, you know, I did this, but I was wrong. I was wrong. Don't you do it. You be better. I was wrong, and I'm sorry for what I've done. Your kids will begin to respect you even the more so. The children will begin to have a more of a positive outlook on life when they know they have a choice to do just the opposite, to do better. And all of us who have worked hard for our children to be educated and what have you, if they go out there and make mistakes and do foolish things, don't take on the guilt when you know that you have done your best. But encourage them to do better. Okay? All I can say is this. We're in this thing together. And when I say I'm not Democrat or Republican, believe me, but I do vote for those whose morals and standards are closer to mine. And at this point, and in this game, predicated upon the present regime now in 2022, I can't vote that way. This evil and hateful divisiveness, lying, collusion is what we see. I'm not on that page. So may I tell you today, stand up. Be encouraged. Do not fall for the hokey doke. It's a system that is in place that no one want to give up. Do not conform to that system any longer. We all fell prey to that. But guess what? It's a new day. It's a new generation, new warriors. And we have to make our voices known because our voices are important. Okay? You are important. Your voice is important. And your vote is important. Vote. Until next time, this is Miss Mac. And this is my opinion. Go today and have a glorious day. And let God give you an opportunity to speak truth and life to someone else. Okay? Enjoy life. It is eternal. Until next time, I love you and I do love America. Bye-bye.